Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our first episode of Claws and Fangs and Revolvers. I am the Ravenous Archon. I'll be your storyteller this evening. My name is Will, and before anything, to set the mood, out in the wilds of the American West, there is a town that rose up out of necessity. Conflict was founded and named not for the bloodshed that it would come to know, but for the trouble of having come up with a proper name for such a town. Founded for its mining veins, Harold Penterton and Bartholomew Sirix have worked industrially hard at making Conflict a gateway city, a stop on the way to California. It has been 12 years since the end of the Mexican-American War, 12 years since the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo that divided the western portion of the United States into Arizona, Nevada, Utah, and Colorado, where Conflict sits. The Colorado Territory has seen an influx of pioneers, settlers, and those just looking to make their fortune in one way or another. It has been 2 years since the Pike Peaks gold rush, and as the saying goes, there's gold and then there are hills. Sitting in the shadow of Culebra Peak, Conflict stands to make the right people rich, and with greed slithering through the streets like the namesake of the mountain looming over them, we will be honing in on a group of people from disparate walks of life, from far-flung and neighboring territories, and with one thing in common. They are Guru, the werewolves of myth and legend, born of two worlds and not belonging to either. This is a story of wants. This is a story of needs. And this is a story of the horror that comes from choosing one over the other. The Sombra Escondida Caern is watched over by a worried group of Wendigo, Uktena, and Red Talons. Stories of the white man have circulated, and they have not been received well. Stories about how they bring ruin and the weaver in their wake. Stories about how they allow themselves to be seduced by the worm, and stories about how the wild weeps with every conquering step they take. The town of Conflict has and will live up to its name. The land stirs as the trampling of boots, the hammering of iron, and the hoots and hollering of men replaces the barks and howls and yips of the wolves in the countryside. Progress comes to Conflict. Main Street comes to life with the rising of the sun and is lively well into the moon's claim of the sky. Farmland is plentiful, mining is bountiful, and the liquor is abundant. But a storm is on the horizon. And last we left off, everyone had made their way to Conflict in one way, shape, or form. Unintended. It is the next evening. As everyone's arrival has taken place, we got to see our Ragabash arrive by stagecoach. We got to see our Theurge arrive at the behest of the spirits. We got to see our Galliard arrive with the help of some members of the Caern in New York. And we got to see our Rune fitting in quite nicely as one of the people responsible for one of the saloons of Conflict itself, the Gilded Apple. But that's not where we're going to find everyone. We're going to find everyone sitting in the center of the cairn. It is a new evening. Howls have been sent out, and the two main packs of the cairn have been called back. It's not a sept meeting, it's not a moot, it's kind of like a mini moot. The sept at large has heard that there are new wolves, but the only ones that get to introduce themselves to each other are the four of you, as we will be playing without our Philodox tonight, as he is currently en route back to the city that birthed him from his little vacation. But it's good to see all of your faces. We find all of you the next evening in the cairn. You can see that there's the 8 We're 7 elders that are present, and you can see another 15. So there's easily 24 guru that are out and about and kind of milling around, all of them encircling the group. Um, right now, the 3 that are being looked at for a place among the Caern are the Ragabash, that has been introduced as Bebe Martinez. The Theurge walks with spirits, and a Galliard that has a single name, Artis. However, some of the people are already sneering. You can see that there are stains on Artis's dress from where she has been pelted with fruit or meat or combination of the two. Um, and in the rare occasion, someone has at least kicked up or pushed her into some dung. Um, and the rumors have traveled around that there is a Metis amongst you. Gathered in the mass, away from the 3 that are petitioning, is Cora. Cora's been part of the Caern now for almost a year and a half. They still haven't found the pack for you. Does this draw any attention to you?
Of course it does.
You know that Beatrice did ask you to speak up for the Metis.
And Cora does make her way out of the crowd and begins to stand near Artist.
Okay.
She's not sitting, but she stands and she's at full height. And in a weird way, she has entered Greek goddess mode.
Hmm.
The hand is on the hip, other hand just outreached, and there's definitely the stare down that's starting to happen as she looks around.
Close would you be to Artis?
I'd say within a foot.
Okay. Um, Artis can sense that somebody actually came towards her without any malice. So she smiles generally and thanks Cora and introduces herself.
Pleasure. And there's a gentle hand that gets placed on your shoulder. It's not aggressive. There's just a gentle touch, some pressure to let you know exactly where she is before she lets it go.
Artis nods and asks for your name.
It's Cora. Cora Leventus.
Cora, that's a beautiful name.
So is yours.
Thank you. I only have one, but you have 2 very pretty names. I'll
A,
have to get to a wash soon.
a gentleman steps up. Cora recognizes him as Howls and Shadows. It is the Uktena Galliard and the Caller of the Wild.
He
So,
nods respectfully.
we have 3 new faces amongst us. 4 if you count that upstart that we sent back to the town. We don't have need of other packs right now. And he turns back to look at the Red Talon Alpha, and the Alpha nods. The Uktena stands up at his full height, kind of stretches his shoulders, But we cannot ignore what is clearly in front of us. Spirits have brought together, and I dread to use the term. They've given us a silver pack. And there's a rush of whispers that start to kind of traverse the circle. The Alpha barks once and everything stops. The Alpha nods at the Uktana. He steps down towards the group that's gathered there. With the four of you, assuming that you go back to town to pick up your fifth, the five of you be willing to put your faded presence to the test. And you see one of the big red wolves off to the side step forward. Cora recognizes this as Rends the Flesh, the master of the challenge. It is a Red Talon Arun. You know that he's in his lupus form, and he is still almost 5 feet at the shoulders. He pads forward.
Big puppy.
Test pack. Accept. And you see him cock his head at the four of you that are gathered.
I'll never turn away a challenge.
If it's the will of the spirits.
A decisive grin creeps on his muzzle. Spirits, yes. Mountain, and you see him point with his tip of his nose towards the mining. They're children of Yonog. Stir. Bring trophy. And he starts to pad back to his spot. The Uktana takes in a deep breath. Yes, of course. In the mines, to the southeast, the children of Yonog have begun to stir with all of the new tunnels that are being bombarded into the mountain. We could let them do what they will, and they will claim several of the miners for themselves as retribution. But that is not who we are. So, bring back a trophy. One of Yonog's children. The bigger, the better, obviously. And he looks up. It is the gibbous moon. We will say that you have until the crescent claims the sky to bring us back a trophy.
Suspicious.
And he steps away, back to his place. The Alpha owls his closing remarks and wishes everyone a good hunt and releases everyone for the evening. Now, if the moon is waxing, you have ample amount of time. If the moon is waning, you're under the clock. Does one of you want to make a survival roll to kick off our first roll of the night?
Sure, quick question. I'm
Yeah.
in Hamid form, right?
Sure.
Do I understand? Did I understand everything that was just being said right now with the Alpha, Red Talon, and all that?
Yep. The Garud instinctively are born with the knowledge of the Guru tongue. So it's just once you hear it, you have to be taught how to speak it, but once you hear it, you know instinctively what they're saying.
Do we know the children of Yonog?
Cora does. Cora has heard the story of Yonog the Restless. Yonog is a great earth elemental, was a great earth elemental that rose up and tried to swallow all of conflict and the Caern itself under its mountainous might when the mines were first started to be bombarded to kind of open up the ways, then the tunnels and whatnot. And the Caern at that time fought off Yonog, but it cost them several members. And that's why the Red Talons have kind of stepped in and assumed leadership. The Caern type is a leadership Caern. It's a level 2 Caern. It used to be a Wendigo controlled Caern, but the Wendigo Elder gave his life so that Yonog could be put down. And in so doing, several of the Wendigo were taken with him. And so right now, that's why the majority of the Caern is Red Talon. There's a couple of Wendigo here and there. There's a couple of Uktena, but recently they've had an influx of people. There's the Children of Gaia amongst the elders. There's a Shadow Lord. There are 2 empty seats currently that the elders have: a Keeper of the Right and a Gatekeeper. All the other kind of titled roles are spoken for.
So I'll roll for survival.
Okay. Make an intelligence and
See,
survival check.
see if it's Wayne or Waxon.
Yeah.
Survival and intelligence.
Yep. You got 5 dice. Difficulty 5. So anything 5 or higher is a success.
Yes. I actually got 3 successes. One of them is a 10.
Okay. All right. The moon is waning.
So that's
Yeah.
less time, yeah?
That's less time.
That gives us like 7 days?
Closer to 10.
Closer to 10? Okay.
Yeah.
Have any of you met the one that we need to find to fulfill our pack?
Oh, it's something, man. This is something, I tell you. This is not how I planned my trip here to conflict. I don't even know any of you.
And walks to
We
a
have to
spirit.
go into town. Look for someone.
What are you going to say, Donald?
I introduce myself. I'm Walks with Spirits.
Okay. I'm Jose Martinez. So you can, yes, since we're gonna be together and all, you can probably call me Pepe. My friends call me Pepe. So Pepe, hola, señoritas, Chacho.
Artist nods,
Hello, Pepe.
but she's a little too scared to open her mouth at this point. So she's just meekly standing next to Cora and trying not to make any sudden movements.
My
Pepe,
name's Cora.
Cora.
Or a room.
Cora. Room. I heard about our rooms. Es tremenda. Walkable
So, will you be
spirits.
leading us?
Your name, brother. Don't be shy.
Can't tell if you're pointing at me.
I'm I
Cora,
start going. I go a little close. Pepe walks up a little closer, keeping a safe distance though. Like
Mhm.
like
It looks like she's looking at you, but she doesn't flinch. She doesn't move.
this is scary.
Are
Do
you
you
speaking to me?
see? Yes,
Oh, my
speaking.
apologies. I'm Artist. Nice to meet you, Pepe.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm
I
still waving.
I wave my hand in front of my face and say I can't I can't
Oh.
see. I'm sure you're very handsome.
You have no idea. And I haven't. And this is on my bad day. I haven't showered in a week.
perhaps we should rectify that and come up with a plan of some sort.
To shower?
Appreciate to clean up a little bit before we start together. I doubt I doubt you'd like to be seen with me at this moment. I'm a bit of a mess.
You're not a mess at all, señorita.
It's fine. Some people are just ignorant.
It's all right. I knew what I was getting into when I came out here, and that's all right. I'll make do. I just want to be of help.
I want to take the time now to look at each and every one of you and get a description of how each one of your characters look.
Yeah.
Yes. Huh?
First introductions.
Yeah. I guess since I'm in front of artists, I will look her up and down, and then I guess clockwise, like Cora next, and then the spirits.
Well, it's tidy. She's not very big. And she's very Irish looking, so she's very pale skin with freckles and red hair. Um, she has well, she did have a nice dress on, which has been soiled, and she carries around a very small, like traveling Bible with her. And yeah, what else would you like to know about her? I mean, she's blind, so there's that as well. Surprise. So the eyes are about a sort of greenish. They're like muted green.
Look over to Cora.
Cora's skin's a little darker. She has dark brown hair, green eyes. She is wearing a flattering and tasteful dress for the time. She's also wearing boots. Definitely Grecian, angular features. And she pretty much stands, not exactly like she owns the place, but there's this definite pertinence to, we don't play that.
So spirits.
And
Seem
Walks with Spirits is 5'8", kind of slight build, dressed in very simple buffalo skin vest and trousers. You see a large scar in his chest sticking out of the top of the vest. It's shoulder length black hair. And very distinctive, finely kept black-soled moccasins. About Pepe,
Mm-hmm.
other than filthy.
Pepe. Pepe has rugged, beaten up brown boots. He's got dark brown pinstripe pants. You can tell they're worn at the bottom, dirty. He's got a long, used to be a white long sleeve shirt, but it's probably gray now with smudges and dirt. His sleeves are rolled up. He's got a gray handkerchief around his neck. Dark brown vest, and then like dark burgundy red in the back. Dark brown cowboy hat. You can tell he's got a pistol at the hip. But that's, if anything, on Pepe, like he's very dirty and rugged. But that the holster, and his pistol seems to stand out because it looks very clean. But it's probably the cleanest thing he has on him. So like it's a very fancy pistol. Everything. What else that can be seen on him? Let me see. Got dark curly hair, unkept underneath the hat. He hasn't shaved. That he's got that going for him. Um, Dark eyes and it's almost like my complexion, tan. You know, a little dark. Kind of out of shape, a little gut hanging. You know, and artist in she's blind. I'm sure her other senses are in hyperdrive, so she definitely smells him.
Just a little bit, but she won't say anything.
He stinks. Wet, dirt, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I said he hasn't showered in a week.
Like a wet dog smell?
Sweat and a wet dog smell.
Um,
Yeah.
one of
Sorry.
one of the other women comes over from the fox's pack, and she puts a hand on Cora's shoulder and just gives her a smile, like, and a nod, like, this is it for you. Finally part of the Cairn.
I just want to do the Cairn proud.
Well, I have never seen a more disparate group of people. So you're either going to succeed stellarly or fail spectacularly.
There is no in between.
No. And she lets her hand kind of slide down your arm, and then she kind of squeezes the last two fingers of your hand before sliding back towards her pack. And you see them all shift down into their lupus form, and they just start to rush off back towards the northwest. You see Raven's pack kind of their alpha give you a nod, and then his pack takes off for the southwest.
Do I see Doc? You around?
Doc is around. He is currently with Miss Noble, and they are discussing something as they're. It looks like they're walking back to the city.
Question. I'm guessing none of us knows who we're gonna be looking for in this town.
Definitely not
He
me.
must be Half Moon. He must be Half Moon.
And from what I heard, he's an Iron Rider.
A what?
An Iron Rider.
Spirits have a sense of humor.
I'm guessing you don't like the Iron Riders.
They bring the Weaver. Desecrate our pure lands. I won't say.
Oh. Technically, he's not here right now with us, so we don't really have to go get him.
I'm sure he'll find his way around.
Hmm.
You know the place I spoke of, Arun.
The mines?
Hmm.
Yes. I do know that place.
Perhaps
And
we find our way there. Look around.
Storyteller, would I know if the mines are being worked concurrently, like day and night, or
No, right now it's only during the daylight hours.
okay.
They need to keep somebody on watch for the generator that controls the elevator.
Mm-hmm.
It's loud, so they don't want to offend any of the people
While they're sleeping?
while they're sleeping.
Since I looked up at the moon, right there, I'm like, I get this test, finish it, and get it. We should start. I think. Looks like we got 10 days. 10 days with us.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if we want to sit around, chat, a drink or two, or we can just start making moves and figure what we have to do. You seem to know more than any of us. Plus, you're the Arun, so and I kindly do a kind bowing gesture.
There's a little smirk at that.
Tip my hat. And I'm all for getting this Iron Rider.
Mm.
I mean,
Well,
and what are the chances he's probably a gringo too? That's all we need now,
let's see. We could go and take a look. Though that in itself could be dangerous. However, we could also go back to my place, get you both cleaned up, maybe a couple of drinks.
I'm good. I'm good. We can skip the clean part and go straight to the drinking. Yeah, I'm good. A couple of fresh air, and I'm good to go. You know.
Artist kind of touches the hand that's on her shoulder and asks, "What kind of alcohol is it? I can drink a lot."
Well, we've got whiskey, we've got ouzo, we've got beer.
Beer. Okay. I can do that.
You see.
But the thing is, I can't let you around my girls being that filthy.
Oh, I understand. I can get cleaned up and I can figure out how to get another outfit at the moment.
We'll get you sorted.
Okay.
But yes, we can go into town and we can get you both cleaned up and
We can make the
things.
plan on the way.
Yes. I run one of the establishments in town.
Oh, that's very nice.
You. I see. I see.
And what do you do for the town?
I provide recreation and libation and general ease of company.
Ease of company. That sounds really nice. Could I try your ease of company?
If you'd like,
Okay.
we have both women and men.
Oh, how lovely. And do you play chess or how does the recreation happen?
Oh.
Meha, I don't think it's that type of recreation.
Well,
Oh,
you can
He's a
play
seller of
chess.
flesh and not a butcher.
I'm not a butcher. Artist thinks about it and she's like, "I'll I'll I'll figure it out."
We also have music and various forms of entertainment.
I
Everyone's
do love
pretty
music.
nice.
Yes, that settles it.
I will follow where you lead.
I guess we're going to the Gilded Apple.
Gilded apple.
Hmm.
It's
That's my place.
a nice little name.
Hmm.
Yep.
Gilded apple.
It's walking in Hamid form back to the town is a good chunk of time, so you definitely have time to talk to each other, to get to know each other, or to formulate a plan however you want to do it. And coming in from the west side of the city, you will have all of the kind of small, like you'll see the apothecary is still open, and she is open well into the evening. The tailor shop is closed. The assay office is closed. Um, the setting sun brothel is in full swing. The Soothing Dragon House also has a couple of people sitting outside of it. You can hear the church bell ding about 10 times, revealing what time it is. But as you come down Main Street and you make a right on First Avenue, the Gold Digger, popular as ever, is in full swing on the corner. And passing the general store, you will pass the bank and the hardware shop as well. And right before you get to the sheriff's office, across the street, you will see the Rutherford Hotel, and in a 2-story quaint house with classical Grecian architecture, columns that are ionic in some places. You'll see that the Gilded Apple sits quite nicely in front of the sheriff's office and kind of in between the sheriff's office and the post office. And you can hear that there's music playing, there's laughter. There's a gentleman behind the bar. Looks like a gangly, kind of tall drink of water. Kind of brownish hair, light brown eyes. But you see him kind of smile as Cora walks in, and he very happily will come around the bar and throw her the bar towel that he was using, and he just kind of comes up. I am so glad you're back from whatever you were doing, because I need to not be around people anymore.
What happened?
I have reached my limit, and Layla is just laughing at me. Please take over the bar.
That's what she does.
Yeah, I'm getting the hang of that though.
I'm glad. You're looking good.
Well, considering you almost tried to kill me this afternoon, I'm glad that I'm still alive.
It's okay. We'll make a drinker out of you yet.
And I did come up with a name for your concoction. I call it the Dynamite.
The Dynamite.
Because it damn sure blew me all the way to hell.
All right, fine. I will take over the bar for you. If you would do me a kindness and see that 2 fresh baths are drawn for a couple of my associates here. We are going to be staying for a bit.
All right. Which one of the new additions, the new faces am I preparing a bath for?
We have Artis.
She curtsies
Yeah, he
in
extends
the
his
general
hand.
direction.
Yeah, he extends his hand out towards you. Nice to meet you.
It's very nice to meet you. And she does not extend the hand.
Yep.
And she looks looks at him and kind of goes.
He's like, oh no. I'm sorry,
Oh,
ma'am.
no?
I didn't know.
What happened?
Nothing happened. You see him
Okay.
just put his hand in his pocket.
Oh. Okay. Was it the dynamite?
Yes, sure was. It was definitely the Dynamite.
I would like to try it. It sounds like a good time.
I hope you have the Constitution for it, ma'am. I sure don't.
I do.
But he turns back to you and
And Jose here. Pepe to his friends, but
well, Jose.
Oh no, I thought me. Yo, I thought you were referring to Walk of Spirits that needs a bad nut. Esto muy limpio.
All right. Well, Mr. Jose, I will make one up for you post haste.
thank you.
I mean, you know, how's the water? Is it nice and warm? And
Oh, of course, sir.
you have like the soap and everything.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
I spit on the floor. I don't. Sorry. I sometimes forget where I'm at.
Apparently.
You know what? This bath sounds almost like your dynamite concoction.
It sounds good.
Sounds good. I think I might dip my toe just to see. You offered, and it would be very disrespectful of me to turn down your offer, Senorita Cora. So Even though
Especially since you're going to be around here. And she kind of gestures to her staff of various types.
Yep.
oh la la, oh my.
Since this is Cora's establishment, I will let Cora embellish the scenery that they are
Mhm.
getting to look
You
at.
also include like smells and sounds.
I will.
Thank you.
Ooh.
There are subtle giggles coming from various parts of the lounge. There are definitely sitting areas. There is a scent of sandalwood mixed with sweat. The ladies are clean, well kept. We have a variety, to say the least. They're all wearing various colors, trying to draw attention. The men tend to be a little more aloof, a little more mysterious, as that seems to be what sells. But yes, there are subtle little giggles, there's music playing, there's conversation that's being had, there's chatter. It seems very fun. It's not as lively as the Gold Digger, but we make do.
You said that there's gold paint on the walls, or green paint on the walls with gold accents.
Yeah. Yes, seafoam green with gold accents. There looks to be some starting sketches for some Grecian artwork of various types. A Venus coming from the ocean.
Kind of thinks of a compliment, but she can't really figure out what recreation is happening. So all she says is, "It sounds like everyone's having a great time."
And that they are. That
Good.
they are.
I tell
Um,
you,
we didn't ask Walks with Spirits. Did you also want a bath?
No.
No.
I
Okay.
will. I keep myself pure.
You
We'll find
keep
a way.
yourself pure.
Oh,
Yes.
it's just a
Yes.
bath. It's hot water and soap and a scrub down.
maybe
You
this sound
scrub yourself down.
You
I've
could just
heard
use water.
the kinds of baths that happen in these establishments. I,
Oh, there's different baths here?
I assure you, this is the purest form of bath.
if I'm doing
if
it, you can do it too.
if it's as you wish, then
Make that 3 baths.
Garrett waves at you.
This bath party.
I'm gonna get Layla to help out your blind friend there.
Yes. Yes, that would be perfect.
All right, and
Figured it out on my own too.
Really nice. This is really fancy.
yeah,
Really nice.
but sure enough,
I try.
you get
But
taken
I
up.
guess
Go ahead.
I guess while we're waiting for your baths to be heated and drawn, I can serve you some drinks. I
Please.
assume Walks with Spirits wants to keep himself pure, so water.
yeah,
Well, your Walks with
just
Spirits, you
water
can
for
have
me.
some spirits.
These are the impure ways of foreign devils, and I'll not have any of them. But please, uh, be as you will. Enjoy.
Would you like some tobacco? I know that's
Oh, sure.
customary.
That would be not very nice. Yes, thank you.
There's
We can
just this
share
kind
a
of
piece.
look. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody
Bring
will.
out take out my flask and take a swig.
Everybody will turn to the Book of Foreign Devils and your Book of Conflict. Are you serving the dynamite, or are you just actually serving? Are you being nice to them?
If they want the dynamite, what is there for me to say no?
Want the dynamite?
I give Walks with Spirits his water,
Thank you.
and I actually am nice enough to hand roll him a cigarette myself before I hand
Oh,
it over.
I have a pipe.
Oh, I'm sorry. But she
I'll-
sets yep. She sets the tobacco down. And yeah, she goes behind the bar. She pours out some beer, pours shots of whiskey, and drops it in and pushes it towards Pepe, and she guides Artis's hand to the glass.
Thank you.
You chug it.
I chug it.
Yeah, you knock it back.
Knock it back. Okay. All right. You said what was inside of the dynamite?
It's beer with
Mhm.
a shot of whiskey.
Okay.
Yeah.
She drinks it, and makes a face and hopes that it doesn't translate, but it probably does. Um, and tries to finish as fast as she can.
Yeah, it burns. It is not gentle like an Irish car bomb. It is.
Right. Mm-hmm.
It is every bit of whiskey and the shoddily made beer of the time. Does nothing to hide its taste, so it's just this chemical burn going down your esophagus.
And Artist gets like a shiver, like a, "Ah," and then hands back the glass, and without a grimace, well, trying not to have a grimace, she says, "This was delightful. You are a genius.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You made it, right? This is the drink you made.
Yes, I
Okay.
made this drink.
Good.
There's just this kind of smile on Cora's face. That's like, oh, you sweet summer child. Mm. And she pours herself some ouzo.
Okay. And you see that with the grimace that Artist takes to the drink, there's a slight nudge as her arm comes back down, and it just kind of nudges Pepe as he's about to take his drink, and you just see it spill all over him.
Ah. Oh boy.
Okay, I'll make you another one.
No, you no need. I'll lick it. I'll squeeze some out of my shirt, and and I got my own drink here. Thank you.
Pulls out her only clean handkerchief and offers it in Pepe's direction and says, I'm so sorry, Pepe.
No, señorita.
Please take it. Please take it. I would clean it up myself, but you know how that would go, so please take it.
I take the handkerchief. You two ladies are so polite and generous. Thank you both, each of one of you. Walk with Spirits, I'm sure you are a kind gentleman as well.
Well, each of them has already offered you a bath, so I have nothing more. Would you like some of the pipe? We share in peace?
No, thank you.
You do realize that it is a hot bath that he is individually having.
I think he meant the bath that I just gave him.
Oh. That's true.
Baths. This is a bath party.
Yeah.
This fine establishment that is nothing like the Gold Digger, by the way.
All of a sudden, Artis's face is flushed and is like, "We are taking baths independently, correct?"
Yes, you are.
Okay.
And you hear a voice from behind you. Yeah, if you like to be watched, however, that's a little extra. But baths
completely red.
Not creepy at all.
baths are we do assume that you're adult enough to handle the cleaning on your own, unless you
I know
happen
this
to
voice,
be.
don't I?
No, you don't.
No?
No.
Bro, dude.
I thought I knew this voice. Damn
No.
it.
But I know I heard that one of you does need help, and so I have made myself available.
Yes. Layla, this is Artis. This was the woman that the nurse mentioned to me earlier that seemed to need assistance.
Ah, the broken bird, of course. And you do feel a pair of hands turn Artis around, and she
Mm-hmm.
just grabs both your hands in hers. My name is Layla. I'll be helping you up the stairs now.
I really like you, Layla. And this is already like, the drunk little like blushing that's happening.
Yep.
I really like you, Layla. Uh, I would really appreciate though that I would take my bath independently. I will definitely let you lead me there. Um, and then she gets like nervous and flustered and she can't say anymore.
Yeah. It's all right. I'm sure that once I get you started, you can take off the rest of your dress on your own.
Yes, absolutely, I can. And she kind of like pulls herself and covers her chest like as much as she can.
Yep.
Layla, is there a possibility that you might have something that might fit her while that gets cleaned? She took a bit of a tumble around the town, if you catch my drift.
Sure. I should have something in her size, and I might be able to fashion a walking stick so no more tumbles happen.
And
Thank you.
Artist kind of lights up at that.
And she just pulls you down off of the chair and starts to lead you towards the stairs. The gentleman will follow me as well. I'll lead you up to your rooms.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, and I follow.
Yeah. And you're led up the stairs to the second floor. You can see the balcony overlooks the first floor. You see that there's a couple of girls standing by the open doors to your rooms. She walks the spirits into her room first, just kind of shoos the girl at the doorway away. She leads Pepe to his room, and then as she motions for you to enter, she kind of looks at the girl and nods in your direction. Would you like some company?
I think I can manage taking a bath by myself.
All right, I meant for afterwards, but sure. And she kind of shoos away the girl as well.
Thank you.
And then she takes Artis into the room and starts to unbutton your dress from behind.
And Artist cannot manage, but she definitely would I'm not inebriated either, but she definitely tries to like help speed up the process and gets nervous that for some reason someone's going to watch her bathe, which wasn't a thought that she ever had, but now has this thought in her head that someone's going to watch her.
But you notice that as you bring your hands back to help, that they get slapped away.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And as she finishes unbuttoning your dress, you do kind of feel one of her hands kind of slide up your spine, and she just brings the other one up and just helps you slide off the dress. It's the most sensual thing that has happened to an artist, I think.
Ever.
And she kind of leans into your ear. She's like, "You want me to stay, love? Or do you want me to wait outside the door?"
Outside the door would work.
Sure.
Thank you.
And she backs away. You hear the door open and close.
And she's probably able to get the rest off. If not, she'll just go in the bathtub with her clothes because she's so flustered.
Yeah. Yeah. But you see Layla come back to the what's it called, to the balcony. She looks down at you and she just kind of shakes her head.
And I just kind of shrug.
Yep.
Because it's like there's nothing more I can do except.
Yep. But yeah, you see her come back downstairs and she rushes into Garrett's office.
Like she does.
Yep. But yeah, how long do you guys want to take doing your baths?
Actually, not very long. I think artists would be intrigued since since they said that they were going to find a new outfit for her.
Mhm.
I think Artis would be extremely intrigued as to what that new outfit might be. But obviously, she's not going to leave the room. So it'll be fast, but where's she going to go?
Yep. Okay. For Pepe.
Hey, although he was hesitant at first, he's gonna take a long bath, like bathe himself, just all in that water, and hasn't slept in a couple of days, and it shows. So with the warm bath and feeling nice and relaxed, he probably passes out,
Okay.
goes to takes a nap, or sleeps in the tub.
Does Walk with Spirits use the heated water, or does he just go for full on cold water?
I treat it like a basin to just wash myself. I don't trust any of this. This is weird. This is too alien. I'm not comfortable with any of it.
Yeah, it is.
I kind of long to like go out to the river and just
Yeah, it is such
see
a
some
weird
starfish.
thing to see this waste for you of ceramic in this. It's a beautiful bathtub. It is large enough to fit a kind of 6-foot man lying down comfortably, and it's just like, what this? There could have been such a more use for this.
But I'm not going to refuse request. I'll clean myself and just sort of wait by my door to see when I'm called upon again to rejoin.
Yeah. After about a half hour, they come in to check on you, especially with Artis. And you hear Layla. So there are 3 choices for you. What's your favorite color? And I'll see if I have one for you. Oh, I'm
Favorite
sorry.
color. It's okay. What's your favorite color?
Well, I'm partial to yellow, but that's because it pops with my eyes.
Sure, I could try yellow.
All right.
What does it feel like? Can she touch each of the dresses and see, and is there different textures, or are they all the same?
They're mostly the same. There's one that's softer than all the rest, though.
Okay. The one that's the softest, that's the one that she touches the most.
Okay.
And she asks, Layla, is this the yellow one?
There's a moment and of just hesitation, and then Layla's like, sure it is. You picked the yellow one right off the bat.
So she takes a breath and says, it's okay if it's not yellow. What color is it?
I mean, it's yellow, sure.
Okay. And she kind of shakes it off and is like, I guess it's yellow. Is it actually yellow?
It's not yellow.
Okay. So she holds it and says, this one would be fine. Is it appropriate for is it appropriate? Or am I gonna look, is it too big?
Well, we won't know until you put it on now, will we?
Okay. I just don't want to show, too much ankle.
Oh. That's what the boots are for.
Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
But you put on the
So
dress, she helps
Mhm.
you button it up in the back.
Mhm.
And it flows. It is a nice flowy garment. It doesn't feel too tight or too heavy or too loose.
Thank you. This feels wonderful. Thank you. Does it have any cleavage whatsoever?
None.
Perfect. Like turtleneck.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
You picked the right one.
Full
Okay.
on Puritan.
Spot on.
It's gonna be Layla's nightgown. I just know it. It's just a nightgown.
Is it a nightgown? Well, I'll ask you when I get down there. I
One
don't
of
know
the
what
one
color
of the
it is.
choices was a nightgown.
I didn't pick the nightgown?
You did not.
Okay.
So she checks in on Walks with Spirits, and then she kind of checks in and sees that Pepe is still asleep. So she kind of comes in, pulls out some of the colder water as quietly as possible, and then kind of gently pulls in some warmer water to keep the water as comfortable as you've been.
Nice, Pepe.
Really nice.
Yeah. Yeah. It's also an excuse for her to see the goods. So
Yeah,
That's what it was.
that's totes Layla.
Yep.
Totes.
But yeah, she comes back. She helps you down the stairs as after you're done getting dressed, Artis,
Mhm.
and you see Layla leading Artis and Walks with Spirits down towards the bar again. You can see that it's a lot of the people have kind of meandered off already. There's only like the hardcore regulars at this point.
Mhm.
Garrett's at the edge of the bar, kind of sitting over what looks to be something hot. Walks with Spirits can see the kind of trails of smoke coming up. But Artis actually smells a reminder of home because it is an Earl Grey.
Hmm. She smiles at that, and also the smell of sandalwood would definitely be intriguing for her.
Hmm.
I don't think she would recognize the smell of like sweat and sandalwood, but it's like faintly familiar. Um, and when they arrive at the bar, she can sense that Walks with Spirits is near her, and she kind of leans towards that direction and asks, "What color is the dress?"
Tell her the truth, whatever it is.
It is a very gross dark green dress.
It's the color of the pine.
The pine, like green?
Yes.
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you.
Hmm.
And she reaches out to like touch him on the elbow to kind of thank him.
Okay, you're gonna squeeze his weenus.
Yeah, just his weenus. That exactly.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
The audience at home.
hey. Sometimes I don't know where you were when you learned that was a weenus. I know where I was, and so anytime that I get a chance to use it, I will use it.
Mm-hmm.
Day you became a
Interesting.
man?
The very day. But yeah, the two of you are back down. You see Layla kind of Walks with Spirits can see Layla come around the bar, and she leans over to Cora. Um, your darker friend is still upstairs asleep, and she kind of puts one hand down on one side of her, and then puts the other hand down at a distance away, where you know what she's telling you. Uh, but
Oh.
she just kind of puts them down at the bar, and she's like, "So I'm gonna let him do what he's gonna do, and
Mhm.
I think I'm gonna turn in for the night if that's all that's needed of me."
That's perfectly fine. Thank you, Layla, for helping out.
Of
I
course.
Thank you,
really
Layla.
appreciate it.
And as she comes around the bar, she tussles Garrett's hair, and then she rushes up the stairs to her room.
Now, can we tell, are any of these folk kin?
Oh, you have a gift to enact.
Does that require a gift to determine?
I mean, there is a gift that the Philodox get to sense out
Oh,
who might be Guru and who might be kin. But if you're asking Cora, she can answer.
yes. If I can't just tell it,
Yeah.
then yeah. Are we among kin here? Your people?
Mm. No, unfortunately. I am doing my best to protect people as I can, though. I know you might not approve of my establishment.
These are your ways. From your lands. They are what they are. They just don't belong here.
It's funny that you'd say that. The first time I saw a brothel, it was in the States.
Are you
I know they
from far?
existed, but people have got to do what they got to do to survive. And that's the way of things here. You're looking a sprite better, Artis.
This completely like shell shocked because you said the word brothel,
Mm-hmm.
and now everything has happened all at once.
Glass has shattered.
Everything has
Mhm.
happened. So Artis kind of gets like broken in the little all the thoughts of like oh shit, all stacked on top of each other, and she kind of snaps out of it. Say, I'm looking as I feel and that was the end of her sentence.
Yeah, the entertainment finally landed.
And she realized she took her clothes off in a brothel, and there's a lot of complications, and but she's hoping that there's a church in town, and then she can have some confession maybe at some point.
There is opposite end of the town, all the way in the north
Beautiful.
end.
Awesome.
Are you okay over there, Turtle Dove?
Yeah, am I Turtle Dove? I like that name. Can I be called? Are we having code names? Are we? She's still frazzled, so she's trying to gain her composure. I can be Turtle Dove, and you could be. And she waits for somebody else to say anything.
It's all right. Names get given to you from other people. It's the way it works.
I'll think of one. I can think of one.
I was named by my uncle.
Oh,
Like a nickname, or this is your real name?
What's more real than what people call you?
That's a good point.
I was named by my grandmother.
What was her name?
Calope.
Calope. That's a beautiful name.
She was the first one of us before me from my family.
So it must have been an honor to be named after her. Hmm. Who do you think gave Pepe Pepe?
I don't know.
I think Pepe gave Pepe Pepe.
We have to ask him once he's and then she tries not to think about what he could be possibly doing instead of taking a bath.
Mhm.
After he's finished.
He's enjoying the water, from
Hmm.
what Layla said.
Okay.
But yes, we.
Artist is like, wow.
This is like completely shell shocked, and she asks, may I have another drink?
What would you like, Turtle Dove?
Anything that you'd like to give me. I can handle it this time. I won't spill it on top of. I don't want to. I don't want to upset you. And she whispers to Walks with Spirits, I don't want to upset you.
No worries.
I'm going to warm up some milk and honey for Artis.
That sounds appropriate. Okay.
Okay.
Not tell it. I'm just gonna fix you something. Just
Okay.
hold. And yeah. Little honey for sweetness.
Yeah. And you hear Garrett get up off of the stool. He takes a little bit of what's left of his orgra. He downs it.
Mm-hmm.
Dumps the mug in the little basin behind the bar. All right, guess I'm on Pepe duty, I guess.
I guess.
And he just makes his way, trudges up the stairs.
Be careful. For some reason, I have a feeling that one's a flailer.
Oh, good. Just what I wanted to hear. But yeah, Pepe wakes up to this big white man kind of shaking him at the shoulder. The gangly bartender from below.
Shaking my shoulders?
Yeah.
Ugh.
He's like, hey man, you alright? We thought you drowned.
No. Me drowned at all. Just in my eyes.
Yeah.
Just in my eyes.
Yeah. We get that a lot.
It's been a while. It's been a long trip, and I haven't stopped since I got here. The bath is really, it's not so bad. It's really good. A good bath.
Yeah. He kneels down next to you, so he's like eye level with you. He's just like, tell you a secret. Take one every other day.
One every other day. You're telling me to take one every other day.
I say no. I'm saying that I take one every day.
Oh, you
Every
take one
every other day.
every other day. Oh no, me. I'll tell you a secret. I take one like at least maybe once a month or maybe once every 3 months.
He falls back onto his ass and he's just like, how do you even? And they're like, I'm gonna let you get dressed, and he pushes himself up onto his hands and feet, and you see him kind of shaking his head. I couldn't go more than a week myself, and he just kind of closes the door behind him.
That just means Pepe's junk is crusty.
Mm-hmm.
He polishes
gets
his
up
gun
out of
every
the-
night. Come on.
He does.
Hey,
There's only so much spit can do, though.
That's why you get a dynamite first.
gets out of the bath, dries himself off, gets dressed. A couple of gun tricks before he puts it in the,
Yep.
his way downstairs.
You shake it more than 3 times, you're playing with it.
Mm-hmm.
I did it more than 3 times.
Yeah, you did. But you see Pepe
That's-
finally come down.
That's what we call gun tricks. That's what they call them.
Mhm.
Doing that in the Wild West is doing some gun tricks.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
That's what I do. Trick shot.
Feeling better?
I am so happy I took your advice, Cora. A bath? Excellent. Magnifico. I was. I think. I know about the smell. I don't know if I smell bad. Please, I apologize. It's the bath's fault, not me. But it was nice. It was
Mhm.
nice. Very relaxing.
Definitely. As
I must
she's
say.
sliding the milk over to Artis, it's like, be careful, it's hot.
Thank you. And Artist doesn't care if she burns her tongue. She just doesn't want to ask any inappropriate questions.
Because they're coming.
Drink?
What color was the dress again? It was green, right?
Yep, it's like a puke green.
That's a very big green dress you got on. It's,
He walks with spirit said that it was pine colored, which it doesn't matter because I'm assuming that's green because that's what I've heard.
it's green.
Mhm.
A pine to puke. It would yes.
Pine
Something
to
like
puke?
yeah. Let's go with what Walk with Spirit says.
I thought it feels very nice and I think it's not too big and it doesn't show any inappropriate body parts. And I was told it was yellow, but I didn't believe her when she told me it was yellow. Not that I would know the difference.
I know it's not yellow. It's green.
Hmm?
Layla's just being playful.
Green's good. I like green.
green like
I like all colors.
pine. Good, right? Pine green, not puke. It's a lovely dress.
Thank you. And she smiles very genuinely at that. As she takes a sip of her sweetened milk.
Which is hot.
Hot, I burned myself. It's fine. It's
Yeah.
like honey milk.
But yes, it looks like we need to head to the mountain. Take a look. I will say that we've got our work cut out for us.
Is there a plan that we should put together before? Maybe so that we all have a role to play?
Well, it's dark down there.
So I have the advantage. Yes.
I like you, artist.
Yes, yes.
I like you.
It's well, it's earth elementals.
Hmm.
Earth elementals. Earth element. No idea what are earth element.
Well,
Vengeful spirits from the ground.
mm-hmm. And we're supposed to bring back a trophy.
We don't bring back this trophy. What happened? More or less.
We might get kicked out. We might get punished. I'll definitely lose a whole bunch of face.
How long will it take us to get there?
It's just a little ways outside of town, storyteller, right?
Correct. With the road, um, seeing as how the winding road up the mountain is the more daunting part of that, it no more than half an hour.
Is this around the same place that I saw the uh, miners playing guitar and carrying on my way? Oh, okay.
Yep.
But we have walks with spirits here, and I'm sure you might be able to solve the problem.
What problem is that?
Well, it's vengeful spirits. Maybe
I
we
could
can.
try speaking with them, yes.
Because unfortunately, I would assume they want the humans to stop digging in the ground for obvious things, and that is not going to happen. So we need to find some way to assuage, cajole.
Unless we do something.
I thought the idea would be that we stop the humans rather than the spirits in order to appease them. Let them know that the cairn is taking proper care of its own mountain.
I like that. We can stop to this mining
If the mining stops, the town goes away.
Yes.
And all the people will have no reason to be here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I have to say, sorry, I have invested interest in this town. So we need to find some sort of happy medium.
Oh, I can see what specifically the spirits want. Maybe they'd be appeased by some other means.
Hmm. I know how you feel about us. Cora just kind of gestures to everything. And we can definitely try and do something to make this right.
Anybody can do it. You, spirits. Instead of walking with them, talk with them.
Is a bit harder usually, but we can try.
No, no, no. More talking and less walking with them.
Yes.
Got this. Be there, but you got this.
And if things come to pass, we are guys warriors after all. The spirits should understand and work with us.
And if not, they may yield to us.
I am pretty strong, but
Arun?
this is I adhere to our spirit walkers' advice and understanding of the spirit world. It has been some time. It just depends. We want to try and head out there now? In the dead of night?
Stay for a night or in the.
In the night, you say the men won't be there?
Right.
Then wouldn't we want to do it at night?
Is there something that you would gain about town, about this place? To learn about the mine before we go?
We do get miners that come in before their shifts. I mean, most of the time they're spending their evenings at the Gold Digger or with their families. But we could definitely.
Perhaps Pepe, who walks with man, normally can talk with man and find some information.
I mean, can ask them. But probably all sleeping right now. And the gold
We
digger,
don't.
I wouldn't. The gold digger's no place to be. You can ask during the day. That makes more sense than people awake.
Yeah, I guess you all can retire. We do have spare rooms for you to take your ease.
So,
And then we could start fresh tomorrow.
So we find our, our law before we depart.
Yes, our Iron Rider.
I thought we were not going to include him.
Why would we include him?
Should be 5. Did you all meet young Charlie at the cairn? small boy from town? Perhaps Arun, you've met him before?
You know Charlie.
You knew I was going to ask storytelling.
Yeah.
Yes, I know Charlie.
Yeah. A lot of people didn't expect him to go through his first change. Like they were really prepared for him to just be kinfolk, but he surprised people and actually went through his first change. He is a crescent moon.
Mhm.
He had a vision of a pack standing against the storm, a flood. And this is the same time that the spirits brought me to here. I know not all of you were so moved, but it's not coincidence when a pack might be formed. There's power in packs, regardless of who they are.
Indeed. I've heard such things.
Okay, that sounds very interesting. I'm not ready to go to sleep. Take a stroll around town.
May I join you?
Sure.
She's all done with her milk, by the way. Like,
Mhm.
all done.
Okay.
Sure. You can. And, you can all join. We can and sing songs, whichever.
She kind of hops off the bar stool or the chair and offers her hand out and waits for Pepe to take her.
Tu permisos. Your permission. Yes.
Yes.
And I ran. Right.
Thank you. And she kind of leans over to him and asks, "Can you tell me what's in town?"
I will consider me your tour guide, but not your tour guide since this is the first time I've been to town. So we will explore this wonderful town together. I do not recommend the Gold Digger.
I don't need to go there. It's all right.
The place is lousy,
Mhm,
filthy,
mhm.
not very clean. They do dirty tricks there. No tricks at all.
What kind of dirty tricks?
I don't know. This bartender thought he was funny showing me a card trick, and it was just lousy. It was lousy. It's nothing like this fine establishment that Aura has.
Thank you.
As the Gold Digger, and I make sure if there's people still there, I say that very loudly. The Gold Digger sucks.
Such a place of corruption, perhaps there we'd find the miners that would know.
So in that case, I will probably head on to the Gold Digger and do what was tasked of me.
How quickly you change.
Now that artist was already took a hand, they have to go.
Yep.
They're so scared. 2 brothels in one night.
Yeah.
Well-
Imagine that.
No. I guess I can feel her tense, and I'm like, no. And I put the other hand on top of your hand, and I'm like,
Mhm.
no, we're not going there tonight. I'm not going back there. I can't even be seen there. Don't
Wait.
Thought that was
don't
just
tell.
a trick on me. This is a place that you're not welcome.
Huh? What? Yeah, time for us to go. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Let's go,
There's-
artists. I gone out with artists.
Be safe, artists. Pepe. Don't get into any trouble. There are beds here for you to relax in. I will be very put out if you are found in a ditch somewhere and we haven't done what we need to do. I will
Artist
be
takes in all this information and
I will be very put out. And there's kind of this look at Pepe that's like, we've got an understanding here. This sweet summer child needs to be taken care of. There's definitely that, and it's definitely that look of, if something happens to her, I will end you. And there you get a little bit of the aggressiveness. But she's like, be safe.
Like full on Rosa
Yes.
Diaz. Like if something happens to her, I will kill everyone in the town and then I will kill myself.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's definitely how it comes out.
only hears like the happy tone of voice, so she's
Yeah.
like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so the two of you head off to look around the town. Cora and Walks of Spirits kind of stay back at the Gilded Apple. Is Walks of Spirits going to take advantage of the bed that's being offered, or are you going to sleep out in the dirt?
I'll when in Rome,
Oh,
I'll try the bed, stay in the lodging.
okay.
Pack has to stay together.
I like that. For a bed, it's when in Rome, but for a bath, it's like, fuck these animals.
I took a bath in my own way. I may have a blanket just on the floor, curled up somewhere. We'll see.
Okay. Like you have to piss on the bed to make it comfortable, things like that.
Whoa. Nah.
I just thought that's how Wendigo do.
Maybe.
Okay. We'll never know until the next episode. But as as Artis and Pepe head out into the nighttime to check out the town, and Walks of Spirits is led to one of the spare rooms, I'm assuming Cora's going to try to wait up as long as possible.
Mm-hmm.
This is where we'll pick up with the pack, and hopefully we'll have all 5. But as always, please continue to wash your hands, continue to keep your distance, continue to wear your masks in public. If you are of age, please get yourselves vaccinated. If you are vaccinated, please get yourselves boosted. I know that I mixed my cocktails a little bit, and I got and the booster took me for a loop. But I am 3 shots in, 1 more punch on my card, and I get a free sub. I think that's how it works. Again, also, we take mental health very seriously here on the channel, so it is okay to not feel okay. But if you need help, if you're watching live, there are phone numbers going up in the chat on Twitch right now. They'll be in the description box if you're watching on YouTube. If you're not in the United States, there's also a link going up as well, so you can find the resources you need in the area that you live in. It's been a rough 2 years now, and we're still not out of the woods yet. And I know that some of us have had our dark moments, myself included. And it's good to know that there are resources if you need them just within arm's reach. If you're a friend or family member of somebody that's usually a happy-go-lucky or strong personality, please check in on them, because you never know how far a simple hello or how are you text can change the trajectory of somebody's life. So please check in on them. As always, you can catch us here Monday, Tuesday, Friday. This Friday is our Dungeons & Dragons campaign in the Eye of the Storm. This Saturday, we're having a special one-shot. You'll see 2 of our faces that you saw today come back for that. We'll be playing a Demon Slayer-inspired round of Big Eyes, Small Mouth. Monday is our Camarilla chapter of our Vampire the Masquerade campaign. And Tuesday, you'll see our next episode of Legend of the Five Rings as we revolve games here on Tuesdays and Fridays. But as always, please take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we will see you when we see you. Have a good night.